Some geomorphologists have come here and said that this is the best example of catastrophic effects of climate change in the whole United States. It's almost like Mount Rainier, because of its unique situation, is kind of the canary in the coal mine. My name is Paul Kennard, and I'm a Park Service region geomorphologist stationed at Mount Rainier. And what a geomorphologist does in this case is I'm a river specialist, so mainly I'm looking at the hazards that the river is posing to infrastructure at Mount Rainier National Park.
Since, over 1 million years ago, there were glaciers here and they have been receding. Since the 1970s, things are happening faster. Yeah, there is recession. There was a recession before 1970s and even before the 1800s. But the whole rate is increasing, and it's increasing at a faster rate. That is what we're seeing with climate change. I'm Beason. I'm the park geologist at Mount Rainier National Park. I study a lot of the geologic hazards associated with the volcano and kind of the long-term picture of what's going to happen with the geology at the park.
So basically what we have is the total station on the tripod now, which is over the point, and I'll have to actually get this level before we can use it.
The glaciers are providing rivers basically with a lot of sediment, a lot of rocks. As it moves downstream, it's losing velocity and dropping material out. The long term, what happens is that through the whole reach of the river, everything is filling in. Like taking the bathtub and raising the bottom of the bathtub and expecting your bathtub to carry the same amount of water in it.
The height is 4.45. One thing that's become really problematic for the park is that this rate of aggradation, or how the whole rivers are filling up, has gone up. We call it hyperaggradation because we're getting very frequent debris flows. Debris flows are very large destructive landslides that can move an incredible amount of sediment. In this area that we're standing on now in the Nisqually River, in just one event, the whole bed of the river, all the way across here for 400 feet on either side, was raised by almost 6 feet in just one event. In fact, the whole area, and we are right next to the road, has risen 38 feet since 1910. I'm standing next to some old growth that's been killed by the debris flows that we've had here at Van Trump. It's built up the bed of the river that actually smothered this tree. So the forces here were incredible, and it was tossing all these boulders that we see around here. It was just literally smashing into this tree. So one of the biggest problems for the park is to try to understand why we're getting so many debris flows recently, and how we can plan to protect our roads and allow visitor access with them.
What we have here is the main administrative area of the park. We have a place that we've kept here for a long time. We have a lot of roads, we have a lot of infrastructure in this park. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to provide the management team what basically is the geologic picture and how is it changing. I'm a geomorphologist, which means that I study how the landscape changes over time. And it's pretty striking how much things change here. And providing that information to the management of the park is critical to keeping what we can here in this location, and also providing for visitor safety and visitor experience.
So we're getting the kind of effects that we think are going to be felt regionally, at least in the state of Washington or Western Washington, and anywhere where you have glaciers-sourced rivers. Part of this is caused by our glaciers retreating, and while we may lose some of our lower glaciers on the mountain, many of the glaciers, as you can see when the sun will come out, start at the summit of the mountain, and they're not going to go away. So we're going to be having a very dynamic and variable landscape for decades and decades. Any work we do now hopefully can be of help to the region as they grapple with the same problem.